You're up. What are you doing standing there? Time to get going. It's gonna be a beautiful morning. I'm making progress. I found the burner, camera, recorder, travel bag. Breakfast is in progress. Still gotta make a pendant. We haven't used this in so long. Good thing I saved the instructions. Just as you would use a shield to protect an identity pendant protects your mind. Your thoughts, memories, everything that makes you, you. We don't wear them here in the village anymore, but if you're going into the outside world, I'll feel better when you've got a pendant shielding you. Diseases of the mind, like the dream sickness. It was Dr. Fumio's last invention. He realized that some psychedelic maladies were impossible to cure, so he made the pendant to prevent them in the first place. If you have a better idea how to protect your brain from being destroyed, let's hear it. That's what I thought. In times of war, a pendant can be used to... Let's skip that part. Objects have two layers, the physical and the mental. The pendant needs to absorb both. 1. Collect a sentimental object for each sense: sound, smell, feel, sight, taste. 2. Feel the sense and speak aloud a memory of the object. 3. Feed the object into the burner. The memory will leave the speaker as it is transferred to the pendant. That means I'll forget the memory after I say it. It's supposed to be painless, at least. No, you must remember everything. That's your role. Okay, so this old tape should work for our sense of sound. I remember. You and I fell asleep listening to this tape. Your dad came home. We all rested together until it got dark. What an odd feeling. Like an absence, disappearing. The empty space fills itself back in until I forget that I forgot anything at all. I'm glad I'm only losing a few memories. If I lost too many, I wouldn't even know who you are. You should pick the rest of the objects. I'll lose the memories, but you'll have them in a pendant forever. so they should be important to you. They should be parts of your identity you want to be sure to protect. So think about what these items and what the memories would preserve about you. Let's do smell next. Find an object with a strong odor and that holds a piece of you.
Honey, wax, baby, waves. I was loved by people I have no memory of. Granite, seaside, darkness. This speaks to how my mom loves me.
What did you choose for smell? Let's breathe in deep. Oh, I remember it so well. It's not as bad now, but in the old days, not many children lived long enough to grow up. We believed if a child could make it to the age of 9, they'd be all right. This print was made of your hand when you turned 9. Your father and I couldn't believe we really had a healthy girl. An old deep fear inside of me finally went away. And we saw you would just keep growing and growing, that everything was going to be okay. Now touch. Pick something with a texture you like.
Wax, soft, ancient wall. I was loved by people I have no memory of. Brittle, soft, wilted. Nothing is ever lost. Waxy, papery, chewable. How I've tried to save things. Cool, round glass. I always wanted to experience new things. Soft, cold, smooth. I used to see souls everywhere. Cool, scratchy, palm grains. A friend gave me this a long time ago. My bag and Dad's camera, ready for the great departure. Aggressive, delicate, mineral. I look closely. Fabric, skin, plush, limbs. This speaks to how my dad loved me.
So what did you end up choosing? Okay, feel the object. I remember. You used to take him everywhere with you. One night, you forgot him in the plaza. It was cold and rainy that night, but your dad leaped into action as if the doll was a real member of the family. I have this image of his face as he ran out into the storm, completely serious. And when your dad returned with the doll, I forgot for a moment that he's just stitched into the form of an animal. It felt as if he had a soul, because you'd projected one into him. What was dear to you was dear to us, that we were whole for a little while. I'm fine. Let's do sight next. Pick something that looks nice.
Dad by my hand. I remember who my dad was. Mom and Dad before I was born. I was born in the glow of my parents' love. Gray textured crumble. A friend gave me this a long time ago. Worn cover. How I always wanted to meet these strangers. Poisoned, blue, shine. I look closely. Yellow avian gesture. I take care of fragile things.
So, what did you end up choosing? I remember your friend Pate made this little bird. You wanted to protect it, keep it like a pet. I thought it wouldn't last long. It's just a bit of folded paper. But you took good care of it, and years went by. You'd done it. It was still intact. That was when I started to understand what kind of person you are. You will chaperone these delicate things into the future. For taste, we can eat breakfast and feed some to the burner. The memory I'll lose is the one we're forming right now. I want you to have it forever. We're standing here. You're having a last taste of home. Now you're protected by lost memories. A gem of home around your neck. This is my only condition for letting you go. You must promise me never to take the pendant off. And never tamper with it. Okay? Then I'm okay with you leaving. I think your camera and bag are still in your room. It's time to gather them up. I've lost so. How could the world ask me to lose you too? Look at us. There we are. There we were. We'll always be right here on this beautiful morning.
I just performed a ritual with my mom. The moment has passed, but I'll record it in these pages for you, for the future. I never knew when my mom would share a memory of Dad while cooking, on a walk, with no warning. It knocked the wind out of me. Rituals take this grief and give it a shape and a story. Filling in this journal is a ritual too, but for a loss that hasn't hit us yet. I've brought tools to record the sights and sounds of this season. I'll start by recording the only place I've ever known. Public sleep music is a tradition of ours here. When the music ends, the village will begin to wake up. Last night there was a goodbye party here in the plaza. Everyone was so afraid for me. To understand that fear, to understand where I grew up, you have to know the man standing watch over the plaza, Dr. Fumio. You have plenty of fresh water here. I wonder if it's more scarce in the outside world. Pate loves fish, even though nobody here has ever seen it. This is Dr. Fumio and his son. The statue isn't as old as it looks. The artist wore it down to give it a feeling of ancientness and the authority that comes with it. Dr. Fumio and his son founded Cairo back in 776. They live on through our traditions. There are 3 murals celebrating Dr. Fumio's work. Remembering everything must be painful. Dr. Fumio brought peace to so many people here. Dr. Fumio said the dream sickness was caused by something very powerful. He wasn't able to cure it. Pate's little daydream of leaving this place, of seeing something weird. A wish fell off the tree. I'm not supposed to read them, but it might be good for you to have an example of one. I can go against tradition a little for posterity. Smells like an old man's toes dipped in cinnamon. I had to drink this gross potion last night. Like my pendant, it's supposed to protect my brain. This is a healing instrument created by Dr. Fumio. It draws on the pure mountain air. The elder sought out Dr. Fumio to cure her mother, who was suffering from time misperception. Dr. Fumio was an important person, but we also just have a need to put a human face on events that are beyond our control. He may have felt just as scared and helpless as everyone else. A village that was created as a place to heal. Is that where my instinct to try to help comes from? It's so strange to imagine I'll be shaped by places and people I haven't met yet. So strange to imagine that I might feel at home somewhere else. I go fishing here with my best friend Pate, even though there's nothing to catch. We both appreciate the silence. The ruins in the distance were used to make us afraid of the outside world. Dangerous and impossible to reach, they said. Kero village was founded during the modernity. Much later, Dr. Fumio arrived and remade it in his image. This flower means you're in my thoughts. The morning after the search was called off for Dad, our doorstep was covered in them.
recording?
Yes.
Okay. How to leave home for my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. Close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
Today, I'll find out. Pate fixed up 3 bikes instead of 1.